What's up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. NBA Talk with Jay, Money, and the Shark, man. Tuesday edition, 3-game card today. Obviously, Tuesdays and Thursdays have the short cards, they have the TNT games or whatever. But short card, we're still gonna try to get to it. Shark, what's up with you, my guy? How was everything cool with you in the weekend?
Absolutely great weekend, great NFL card on Sunday. Took yesterday off, had a personal play. Probably should have dropped it. It ended up covering, of course, Dallas Mavericks 111-101. Good to see you guys hit that Celtics side yesterday. A nice looking card yesterday. I think people profited. I mean, the favorites cleaned up yesterday. I saw 10-1 ATS. Crazy sample there. Of course, today we come in here November 16, 2021. Tuesday, baby Tuesday. I always say it. Mundane day. We selected in our mind. It can be great. 3 games on the card. TNT doubleheader. These are going to be great games to watch. I have some official takes. So, Jay, let's get right into it.
Let's go. Let's get to it, man. Can't wait to watch these games, man. You talking about the Warriors versus the Nets, man. Hey, the way everybody, it could be a possible the way these two teams are playing. Could be a possible finals matchup here. It's a tough game, in my opinion. It's not necessarily tough to cap. There's always you could get on either side as far as finding the right side. This is a tough game for me. Obviously, the Warriors have been very hot. They had an 8-game homestand. I mean, what do you do? I'm starting to notice teams that are favored by the NBA. Obviously, the Lakers, the Warriors. When you have teams having these early season long homestands, I feel like that's a little bit favored by the NBA. But that's a whole nother conversation. Warriors come off 8 straight games at the house. They did lose versus the Hornets in their last game. Shark, I'll let you talk about this one. You got the official play, my guy.
Yeah, well, on a suddenly not so casual Tuesday, maybe Tuesday, we go to the visitors' locker room here at Barclays Center. We're taking officially Golden State Warriors +3. A lot of angles to look at. We'll go through them quickly and efficiently. First thing, obviously, we look at double revenge game last year. The Dubs got cleaned up both times. Actually, the opener last season with definitely a completely different roster and flow. 125-99 in Barclays. And then they came home in the revenge game. The line did kind of hold towards Brooklyn, which is good. We like to see the line functionality. And Brooklyn won 134-117. Neither game was really close. There was not a lot of defense. The Dubs didn't really have a lot of flow. And that was kind of symptomatic of the Dubs' early season last year in general. Flip to this year. It is clearly the polar opposite. They are on one. They're focused. They're re-energized. And this roster is functioning at a high level. However, you go back to last game, they were not functioning at a high level. 102 points. Their second lowest of the season, I believe. The only other time they scored less, 101 in a loss to Memphis, it was the same type of dynamic. They just flat out could not hit the 3 ball. 9 for 39 from 3 against the Hornets in the last game. Of course, that was a revenge game for the Hornets. That was home game 2, which we always say is a great spot for a home team off of a prerequisite trip. And then you come to the prerequisite trip idea. Here comes Brooklyn off a 6-game road trip coming home. They're also 5-1 ATS last 6. They're on a cluster of wins coming in here. And this road trip is not particularly representative of much. Outside of the Chicago Bulls, which, of course, we did have the Bulls correctly to fade Brooklyn, they played a lot of lower quality teams here. And if you really go through the schedule this year for Brooklyn, when they play top quality teams, they haven't played particularly well. Chicago, Milwaukee, Miami at home, and that's a corollary I really like. The Miami spot at home for Brooklyn. I think the game could function in a similar way here. Double revenge game, and the line is connecting with it. Last final point. -7 last year, win by 26 at home. This opens up at 2.5. It was 3.5 on the road, which was stock. 3.5 road should come back up to 5.5, 6. The line, the numbers, the narratives, all of it is all over the Golden State Warriors. Official play, 1 unit +3. Should be -3. I said that last week. Should be -3.
Got you. Hey, I hope you cash it, man. I'm definitely rooting for you. I don't have a play on this game. It is a funky spot for the Nets here. It's a spot that I'd almost never bet a team. First game back at the house after a 6-game road trip. It could have been a 4-game road trip, and I'd still be saying that it's a tough spot. 6 straight games on the road, man. It's absolutely tough if you ask me. If they had a game up under their belt, probably at the house, I may be on the Nets here. I'll be honest. I want to take the Nets here. I'm staying off this game. I understand it. The Warriors have the much better bench here. The Nets without Joe Harris, they can't really afford to not have him in this type of game. In my opinion, they need him. They need those threes. They need 15 points from Joe Harris in this game. So it's a tough game, a tough spot. This is a step up spot. We do have KD going against the Warriors. I know he's going to have something. Nobody on the Warriors really to just shut down KD. So I'll be looking at some Kevin Durant props. Harden is not a big fan of Curry as as well. I do think Harden and Durant will turn up in this game. This is a step up spot. I'm a little bit worried that they hadn't beaten a top tier team. This is a huge test for them. It's a huge test for the Warriors as well. We got to talk about West Coast team being on the East Coast, a lot different time as far as body clock. So tough game for me. Can't wait to watch it. I may make a live bet. Can't talk anyone out of betting the Warriors. It definitely makes sense. Better overall team, better defense as well, better bench as well. So probably better coach team as well. And they're catching points here. It's a huge test for the Warriors on the road. Can't wait to see how they do, my guys. Can't wait to watch this game. I must say the total opened up at 220, is down to 222. I see this being like a playoff type game. I see it. The Nets aren't necessarily, they're kind of like the Knicks of last year. Their offense isn't really that great, but they're playing really good defense this season. We know the Warriors, one of the top defensive teams in the league this year as well. I'd lean to the under here, going against the market move. Heavy lean under for me. On the side, I may make a live bet in this one. Let's get to the next game, man. Let's go to the streets of Utah here, man. We got the Jazz. This line opened up at 8.5. It's up to 10. Could be a smack city spot for the Jazz. They're coming off a few losses in a row, and a loss at the house, which usually doesn't happen, versus the Heat, though. A damn good defensive team. The Sixers obviously still missing damn near half their team. I feel like the Jazz should smack these guys up as long as they want to. They're coming in here with some pissed offness. I knew that the Sixers were due to stack up some losses. 4 straight losses now for the Sixers. What do you think about this game, my guy?
Well, I love the word pissed offness, and we will jump on that.
I created that. That's a creative word for me right there.
Oh, I like it. 10 p.m. TNT home locker room. We're going to channel some pissed offness here. And Utah does come in here having lost 4 of 5, 2 in a row, both to the East, Pacers and Heat. Last time they lost 2 in a row, they did come back and not blow out, but they did handle the Hawks by 12. We had that correctly. I keep saying we had this correctly. You guys notice we do oftentimes bet the same teams in the same environments when we catch them off the same games coming in effectively. It's the same thing here. You come in here off 2 losses, and you just see a revenge game, single revenge game. They did lose in Philly last year in overtime, 131 to 123. And the line functionality has been very good last year in Utah, minus 8.5 against a better Sixers group. I believe Embiid did play, and Simmons back when he was still in flow with that group. They did win the game by 11 points and cover. So 8.5 home cover came down to 3.5 on the road. They did not cover. Comes back up to 8.5, getting steamed up by, I think, Public and Sharps alike. I got this at 9 yesterday. So I'm on minus 9. I would not shy you guys away from minus 10. I think they win this game by over double-digit points. I think it's going to be 12-20. And I think you're just looking at Philly. Jay said it on record. He thought they would crater. Obviously, injuries. The roster's just not there. This is not really the Ciroc on ice model. Teams are not tanking to this team without Joel Embiid. They're just purely beating them and covering against them. Get the revenge game. You get the Jazz on a real low point coming in here, 4 or 5 losses and 2 straight duds. I think the Jazz turn up tonight and cover this. 1 unit, minus 9 officially from me.
Yeah, first game on the. Oh, I just wanted to show y'all the socks. So you got the hat on. I didn't bet the Jazz today, but I am wearing the socks. I do think they smacked the shit out of them. I don't know. These are some fire ass socks, man. These are one of my favorite pair of socks, man. These motherfuckers nice, but they even got the cursive on there. But this is, I believe, the Sixers' first game out on the West Coast as well. I mean, not really West Coast, Utah, but still, it's a lot different later time than what they're used to playing. So just think about this, guys. Some are really starting to, I don't know why I hadn't figured this out before, because it mainly matters early in the season when it's like your first couple of times out there. The games are already later, right? Even if it was on your same time, they're later, and it's a later time. It's not necessarily a good spot for me. So the later this game goes on, 76ers probably fall asleep here. Is what I can see. Only way I'm looking at this one is Jazz. I agree with it going up from 8.5 to 10. When you see that happening, Public, Sharps likely aligned. Jazz, the only way I could look at this one, and like I say, coming off those couple losses and loss at the house, it's not something the Jazz are used to, my guys. Only 2 losses at the house so far this year. Heavy lean Jazz. I know my guy, he likes the Jazz team total over. Definitely could see that one hitting as well. Shark, we got one more game here. We're going to the streets of LA. The Clippers been hot, man. They're on a long homestand here. The Spurs, we know they're one of the bottom feeders in the West here. They could possibly be without Terrence Mann tonight. Clippers coming off a loss at the house to the Bulls. But this is the last game of their homestand before they head out on the road for a couple games. What do you think about that? I wanted to take Clippers early here. That's my lean. I like heavy lean Clippers first half here. It's a tough game, though, man. it's a three pack of tough games today, Shark. What you doing? What are we doing in this one?
Yeah, this one for me is a tough game. The previous ones, again, we're not forcing action here. I love the first two games. I think those are very good looking spots. But this one is really, really tough. And this opened up at 6.5. And that's just a razor sharp figure. I think if you're betting either side of this game, expect to be sweaty there. I think whichever side covers will be in within one or two buckets. And I think you go back to early season Spurs, a couple road games, one at Dallas and one at Denver. They were both within a bucket of the spread. They've been slightly more lackluster recently, but I could see it a double revenge spot here. They did get blown out twice at home in a back-to-back sequence last year. Again, somebody just said, when are we going to stop talking about last year? We're not, because it's ripe in their minds. Pro athletes don't forget what happened 4 months ago. It's a very significant component to capping the environment of the game. And when you really look at what's going on with the Clippers, as you said, the Clippers have been smoking hot. They did cluster a bunch of wins. Theoretically, they should probably come down to a little bit more of a normalized ATS average here. Again, double revenge game. Spurs line very sharp. Again, this is one of those where oftentimes I will say I think this will come down to 5, 6, 7, or 8 points. And it sounds ridiculous. I'm just basically telling you it's on the line, but it is. So just prepare to sweat this one. No official for me on this one.
Yeah, I can see this. Oh, this is a game that you want to look at with matchups. And I'll be honest, the Spurs not having Jakob Poeltl out there is still going to hurt them in this game. So the way I look at the Clippers, right, Paul George, their main scoring threat, and then it's Bledsoe and Reggie Jackson. So they kind of have like this three guard lineup that they run with, and you kind of have to match that. So the Spurs, they have DeJounte Murray, Derek White. Not a big fan of Doug McDermott as far as a defender. I think he's barbecue chicken, but this team is pretty small. So what I can see Paul George going into the paint every time. Zubac should have a big game. Hardenstein off the bench should have a big game. The Spurs don't have a ton of size. So while I am staying away from this spread, you might want to look to some poor Paul George props. Zubac rebounds. I know Hardenstein's a bench player, but still, he's going to do well off the bench. The Spurs don't have a single center. They're starting Drew Eubanks at the center's position. He's not a center in this league. Who off the bench? Thaddeus Young, maybe. This team doesn't have a center right now. I see points galore for the Clippers in the paint here. That's the only way I could be looking. I know the Spurs can play some sticky type defense with Murray and White, but after that, and after Lonnie Walker, not a ton of size, not a ton of scoring options for the Spurs out there. So I want to lean Clippers here. This is a tough game. Like I said, they may be with that. They run in a 7-8 man rotation. So if they are missing Terrence Mann, it may be a little bit bigger than people think or whatever, even though they got Winslow back. Bledsoe is not trash, Nigel. He's not trash. Bledsoe is actually starting to come along. He's a damn good defensive player, and he's starting to get some buckets offensively. So it's a tough game. I'm definitely not forcing the bet. I'll probably have 3 top plays for you guys tomorrow. Today, I'm taking a day off today. I'm watching these games. I may send out some live bets, so I see some. I've been doing a lot of live betting lately, my guys. But Shark, break them out for your officials. Where we got it? Anything else you got to say? Leans, whatever, my guy. Talk to the people. Some motivation. Give us some motivation.
13 minutes here. Quick in and out here today. Short card, not much going on. But, I mean, again, it's going to be a great slate to watch and bet. I mean, I really do think that the Golden State side is an absolute box checker. All the numbers and narratives, not only from what happened last year, but also recent history, catching the Nets off a road trip, a cluster of wins and ATS spots with the Dubs off only their second loss of the season. They bounce back well. They will be focused. Steph Curry's going to want to get back right after getting just shelled against Kevin Durant last year, particularly on the road, 125-99. The other spot, of course, I'm wearing the New Orleans Jazz hat here. I'm growing my hat collection. We have 2 in the mail. I have them coming in. We'll have some buy hats tomorrow, as Jay said, big card Wednesday. I'm not sure if we're going to have a guest on there tomorrow or not, but we will be back. We'll be fired up, and we'll have probably 40 minutes of fire for you guys. But 2 official plays, Golden State +3 and Utah -9. The only way we're looking, an opportunity to dominate. November 16, 2021, 14 minutes of fire. Jay Money is money. Close them out.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate everybody for watching the show every day. Hit the like button, subscribe. We really got some really good followers, man. Some really good subscribers. I appreciate the hell out of y'all. Nothing for me today. I am staying off. I didn't necessarily want to force a play. The things that I look at with today's board just happen to stay off. Hope my guy cashes with the Warriors and Jazz. I could not talk him off either one of those plays. I leaned Clippers first half, but I did end up staying off. I'll be honest. I hadn't bet a single dollar on anything today, guys. Got a lot of business I got to go handle. I'll be looking at tomorrow's card just so I can be ahead of the curve. Try to go 3-0 for you guys tomorrow. So Shark 2 plays, Warriors plus the 3, Jazz minus 9. We still like it at 10 as well. Let's go 2-0 today for the channel, man. Everybody hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notifications bell so you know exactly when we're going live. You never miss the intro. Drop those plays in the chat, comments, all that good stuff, man. We're back tomorrow. Go follow my guy on Twitter at Sharks in Sports. Follow me as well at JMoneyIsMoney. We out, my guys. It's cash.